down if we're gonna make something parking lot.
It's at the Victory tonight.
Yeah. Always look forward to having it. Appreciate you saying that. We won't have that truck towed out.
Well played.
Oh, yeah, watch this 420.
We have any members?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, sorry.
I was gonna say, mine's on 425. I've got 425.
Well, I didn't thought.
Do we have any other board members gonna share?
Should be here because he's doing the treasurer's report, but that will be your only live one. Sabrina should be joining via Zoom. She just called. You do have a quorum, yeah.
Virtual counts towards a quorum.
Well, Bob will be your quorum. Here he is.
All right.
We have a, yeah, I'm leaving them. We have to, what is this?
This is good.
Is this?
Okay.
So. Something speaking the other
We're
day,
good.
you dressed in plaid.
When do you
by the
start at
ball.
Masala? Good to hear.
I just realized there was a word that I have to say tonight, but I had to look up the pronunciation.
I thought you were telling us that.
No, no. I'm pronouncing.
Deal. I've seen that.
Oh, anybody else has?
Made it to
Yes.
Belinda.
Hmm.
How you doing? Hey, I have 4:30. We will, is that fun? That's, I didn't realize I was telling a joke.
On the dot. Wait.
Yes, sir. We'll call the meeting, June 12th meeting of the EVPL Board of Directors, to order. We have the introduction and forum for visitors. Do we have anyone that's going to speak today? Hello to everyone who is visiting and with us tonight. Correspondence has gone around. We absolutely appreciate feedback on the library, especially when it's good feedback, and this is all great feedback. So item number 4 is our consent agenda. I will entertain a motion for the 5 items on tonight's consent agenda.
So moved.
After five times then.
So moved.
Second.
Right. Have 5 motions, 5 seconds. Any discussion? I do have a question. I saw that Abby Baumgart, who's with us today, attended the meeting of the Job Shadow Committee. I'm definitely interested in what a Job Shadow Committee is.
So we have recently begun the planning, so they haven't completely started yet, of 3 new programs that are under the umbrella of fostering employee connections. So the Job Shadow program here internally is one of those. We also are going to start a mentorship program and 2 employee resource groups, one for new employees and the other for,
Continuing education.
thank you, library science students. Totally lost my train of thought there. So yeah, 3 different ways that staff throughout the system can connect with each other and or share as they grow in their profession or want to look into other professions or grow their skills here with us.
That is awesome. If there's, condensed information on that, I would love to read more about it.
Yeah, when each one has their own subcommittee and they're working on those planning documents and processes right now. It's just the beginning.
Mhm.
And when we have those processes, happy to share them with you so you guys can understand how they're gonna work.
Fantastic. Any other comments or discussion?
No, just the open positions report. Are there still 3 full-time positions open?
No, there are not. So which ones does it even show? I can't remember.
Custodian, assistant librarian, and location manager.
So the assistant librarian, Marcus, right here in the front row, will be starting in that position at McCullough and has been promoted. And so that is not open any longer. The full-time custodian, they're about to start interviews on that in the next couple weeks. And the Red Bank location manager was just announced today as well. And I think it'll be a name that is familiar to you. Joshua Brona will be the new Red Bank manager.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. That's comments and discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign opposed. That motion carries. We are ready for item number 5, governance, the Oakland renovation bid proposal. Mr. Kelsey has this.
Is this on? Yes, it's on. Okay. Good evening, everyone. On May 22nd, EVPL received 4 complete bids for the Oakland renovation project. The bidding contractors were Empire, Garmong, Dyke Brothers, and Danco Construction. And after review with our architect on record, MKM, and discussion with our building and grounds committee, in our Veritas, our owner's representative, sorry to leave you out, Andrea. We have received 4 bids and Empire, sorry, Empire Contractors was the low bid at $2,785,000. And the Building Grounds Committee brings to the board the recommendation, and the EVPL staff brings to the board the recommendation to accept Empire's bid of $2,778,400 after we take a deduct of alternate number 4 for $6,600.
How much would it be?
total would be $2,778,400.
So we're not doing alts 1, 2, and 3?
I'm sorry,
Not doing alternatives 1, 2. and
we are
3?
not.
Have we used Empire before?
They are currently doing our central project. They're doing this building right now.
Have each of the others, Danko, Dye, Garmong, received other contracts in the past couple of years?
We have done work with Danco, the last 2 projects we did with Danco.
And does the Prairie Mixed Alternative 4 mean we won't do a prairie garden, whatever we're going to do?
I think it was an additional mix that they were putting up there on the roof. We do have, we already have in the project other items happening up there on the, I call it the roof, but up on the top of Oakland. This was just some additional extra that they were talking about putting in.
How about we go ahead and entertain a motion?
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
sorry, sorry.
And a second on the floor, continued discussion.
And on the Prairie Garden, Bob, we have a additional contract with another vendor that we've been using for years for replanting to keep that garden going and as well as weed reduction.
So the architect or somebody put it in, but we didn't really want it. We have some.
We were going to expand it and possibly do some different types of gardening and landscaping in
How much do
addition
we
to
have
what's there.
available? How much do we have available in the bond money?
The full bond was 3.96. But soft costs and FF&E are pulled out of that, of course, differently.
Let's use old furniture.
And the camera project is also included in that bond
Also
for
true,
security
yeah.
cameras.
Yeah. The only other question I might have is, and I don't know whether we do this usually, but I just found out that another place I work with doesn't do it usually. My contracts I've seen before usually have you done by the 280 days, you have 30 days. Good, and if you don't finish it up, then you have a penalty.
We do,
Correct. That is in the contract.
yes.
Good.
Any other questions or discussion?
I have my hand raised, but
Oh,
I'm not-
go ahead, Sabrina.
so I'm gonna lower my hand, so I won't be up there. I have the question that I raise quite often, and it's about minority contractors. I know there was something in our bylaws that stated that we could track it, or we have something, and I just don't ever hear anything about that when we're talking about our contractors. Can you share with me if any of that is on the radar? If we plan on doing it, do the contractors have any minority contractors on their job site or in their contracts?
That information, Sabrina, that
Resolution.
board resolution, thank you, Heather, is included with our bid documents when we go out to bid. So they're required to do what's in that resolution.
I've
We
just
don't-
not seen it. If you could just share with me, so it might be in the documents. I've just never heard us reporting on it on a number of years that I've been asking for. So is there any way, even on this site and even some of the previous ones, that we can find out, what that looks like and how it is moving forward?
Sure. So
Thank you.
once if the board accepts this contract, then we will have a pre-construction meeting. Then I will be able to have the dialogue with Empire to get the list of their subcontractors. And I would be able to put forward to you all, let you all know who they're using individually. And I will go back to them on the central project. And I'll even talk to Danco about North Park, so we get lists of these contractors to you. We don't control who they bring in because it's a bid process, so it's all done through the general contractor. We can't control who they're using. We ask, we include our resolution that we request that they use minority businesses. We just can't control how they do that. So fair bidding, we can't tell them they have to use a certain contractor. But I will definitely get with them and come up with a list for you.
If I could direct a question to council. Given the 2 or 3 Supreme Court cases in the past 6 months, do we need a opinion about whether we need to revoke that resolution or not?
It's probably a good idea. As you know, that's a controversial thing right now.
And but it's getting, the movement is definitely, Supreme Court cases are 9-0 one direction.
Right.
Can we have that by next month?
Sure.
Any other comments, discussion? All those in favor then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign opposed. Motion carries. Thank you, Lamont.
Thank you.
We're now ready for the finance report.
Main part of the whole thing, right?
What we've all been waiting. for.
That's right. If we could look at page whatever it is, 49, this is the basically how much money we've spent as compared to budget. Those numbers in the last column, the percentages, at 58%, we're looking good. Some of them are a little bit below that. Most of them are actually a bit above that, 59 or 60, which means we are coming in so far under budget as looked at on a month-to-month basis. The overall number at the bottom, the total, we still have left 62% of our budget, which means we are 4 percentage points above what we actually have to spend. Some of the salaries, for instance, may be true savings, which will have extra money at the end of the year to do with as we will. Some of them may just be temporary things where the bills haven't come through or the services haven't been used, but that's the report on the whatever it's called,
Any questions on the appropriations report?
appropriations report.
I do have a question about transfers to LERF. Do we just wait to make that all one transfer at a certain point? That's why we have 100% of LERF and balance.
I think it's, yeah, we'd look at it and maybe November, December, we'd look at it, make sure we have it.
Okay,
Otherwise,
cash wise.
if something happens, we need it, we can always say, well, we can't just transfer it this year, right?
All right. The report of investments to date.
Yes, that's be the next page on your list. Numbers are still looking good. The money we're getting from the Trust Indiana is around 4.3%, which is better than you're getting in a CD in most places, so it's a good number. The numbers you're seeing for the library improvement, the bond and interest, and the rainy day are running pretty well what they've always been because those balances don't change. For those of you who have good long memories, you might notice that the library operating fund, we're getting less in interest in May than we have gotten previously. That's because the money is shoved into the account every December, then it comes down as we use it, and then it comes back in June, and it goes up and it comes down. So as we use up the money, the amount of interest we get per month is slowly decreasing, but it'll go up again in June. So as you can see, we still have a good amount of interest. We're doing well on that, and looks good. Any questions?
The approval of bills.
This is the really exciting part. You have in front of you the invoices and the payrolls for the period ending June 12th, 2025. And on the total invoices, we have $589,077.90. We had 3 payrolls in May for 377,041.50, 379,108.42, and 553,448.30 respectively. I'd ask that these be approved by the board.
Second,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor then signify.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Same sign opposed. Motion carries. And I'll sign this and send it around. There you are. And we are on to other business, 2026 proposed budget calendar.
Lori left the proposed budget calendar for us to approve this time. And I know she went over it when we were in our Board of Finance meeting. And for you, a lot of this, well, almost all of it is set by state law and when we have to have things done by. And so she has diligently outlined to have the budget calendar is presented to you.
And just a reminder that those September and October dates require a quorum.
Correct.
Those are the biggest ones you're supposed to remember.
Yes.
So entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the proposed 2026 budget calendar. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Same sign opposed? That motion carries also. Staff spotlight. We do not have a staff spotlight, so does Lamont want to sing a song?
I don't think you want me to, but if I have to, I'm good at zoom. That's got great.
It's the grandkids' favorite.
I'm gonna have to look at how many people are on Facebook. Announcements?
Announcements. I do have a few, and I'm sure Heather will
Good night,
have
Mike. Yes.
what I miss. First one, I would like to commend the marketing staff for all the nice things that you have in your packet, especially the new annual report. It is outstanding. Numbers were really good last year, and the way they put it together is just amazing. It's top notch. Programming and summer reading thus far is going amazing. Great program attendance. I'd like to give a shout out to the Reed Center here, and particularly Alex's theater group is going fantastic. He has a theater camp and he has a wait list on it. So it's amazing. Kids are having a great time. I poked my head in there the other day and it was really neat to see the interaction. But all the programs around the whole system are doing really, really well. Maintenance staff will need a shout out too, especially here at Central with everything that they've been moving, including library stacks. We were able to borrow some shelf moving equipment and utilize that, but it's still very laborious work to move a whole range of stacks. But it really has helped the process go, not to mention all the furniture they have to move, computers with the IT staff and coordinating all that. Lamont's done a tremendous job of keeping all those balls in the air. And now when he's on vacation, I get to handle a couple of days of that. So now we'll really see how valuable Lamont is, because I'll have to deal with it myself.
The only other thing I would say is just to remind you that we have Kwame Alexander as our third speak author tonight. I'm going to rush right over to the Victory for my sound check very soon. But at 7 o'clock tonight, he will be speaking at the Victory. And then we have our fourth speak author next Saturday, the 21st, here in the Browning Room, Angela Jackson Brown.
Great news. So
Give a quick shout out to summer reading program. I have a grandson who is so excited that as per my daughter, his mom, the app is amazing. Absolutely love the app for tracking summer reading. It's very user friendly. Kids really get into it. So just a shout out for that.
right. I do have one question. Mr. Musgrave reminded me when he said there were 3 pays in May, that 2026 is a odd year for those folks who pay on a biweekly basis. So there are 27 periods when there are normally 26. What does the library do for salaried?
I'm looking at Nicole.
First time I've experienced that. I haven't
Okay.
talked to Lori about that yet.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
not entirely sure.
yeah, but
I
we
think-
can find out for you.
Put it on the agenda for next month.
Okay.
When Lori's here, explains.
yeah, okay. Any further business to come before the board? Hearing none,
Move for
Second.
close.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So seconded.
Have a great evening, everyone. This has got to be the funniest.
It probably was. I think it was the most humorous.
Not quite the way.